Let's kick off with the basics. AI and blockchain have been all over tech headlines, but what's actually changing in how we live and work? Has it really made a dent for you personally?
Honestly, it's wild how much my work has shifted since around 2015. Like a lot of developers, I got swept up in the AI and blockchain wave first out of curiosity, then out of necessity. I spend most days now wrangling open source AI and tinkering with decentralized blockchain projects, and it still feels like we're standing at the edge of something huge.
It's funny you call it curiosity, but there's almost a sense of urgency out there. The whole token economy, data control, world computer idea. Did you always see it going in that direction?
I absolutely didn't. The more I dove in, the more I realized these decentralized systems could actually hand some power back to individuals, at least in theory. That's what got me experimenting with things like token-based reward models and distributed networks. But it's messy, and honestly, not everyone cares about the same vision.
Messy is the word. But speaking of that, let's talk user experience. With all this complexity, how much of it is actually accessible or meaningful for the average person, not just developers like you?
That's the struggle, isn't it? Tech like AI and blockchain keeps promising to democratize things, but most people just see crypto as a get-rich-quick tool, not a way to change power dynamics. Regulations, financial speculation, it's all created this gold rush, but it hasn't solved the core issues yet.
And yet, platforms keep touting decentralization as our salvation. I remember hearing about prototypes where tokens are distributed based on contributions, not just investments. Is that something you've actually built or seen take off?
Yeah, I put together a prototype like that last year, tokens rewarded for real work, not just money. The tech is there, especially with low-code tools and AI helping automate the drudge work. But adoption is slow, people are skeptical, and frankly, the learning curve is high.
That totally tracks. I mean, when the technology is this complicated under the hood, most people just want it to work without understanding why. So, where do you see the line between hype and genuine empowerment?
So much of what's marketed as empowerment ends up as another layer of complexity. True empowerment would mean real data ownership and transparent systems, but most projects aren't there yet. Still, tools are improving. I guess the question is, will the next generation care more about what's under the hood, or just what it lets them do?
That brings up another big question: trust. With AI generating images, video, and text at scale, how do we know what's real anymore? And is the average user even pausing to ask?
Honestly, it's getting harder every day. There's this flood of synthetic content I read that misleading media multiplied 170 times in just a year. Deepfakes, cloned voices, even personalized phishing scams are everywhere now. It's overwhelming, and most people don't have the tools or time to verify.
I had a friend get hit by a scam that used AI to mimic a colleague's voice and request a wire transfer. It's unnerving. But then, on the flip side, AI does make life smoother. Think translation, email sorting, smart assistants. Is it a net negative or a net positive from your perspective?
I'd say it's a mixed bag. AI cuts through a lot of busy work and even helps people overcome barriers like language or accessibility. But that convenience comes at a price. Our data gets harvested, our attention gets monetized, and sometimes we get manipulated or even outright tricked by algorithms designed to keep us hooked. It's a constant trade-off.
And that trade-off is only going to get sharper. What really struck me was your point about attention being plundered. It feels like we're not just the users, but also the product. How worried should we be about that, honestly?
It's a real concern. The big tech companies, what I call composite capital, aren't just tech shops anymore. They're media, finance, hardware, cloud, even space exploration. The data we generate fuels this whole ecosystem, and it's becoming harder to see where their reach ends and ours begins.
And the way you described the zero class really hit home. People with zero security, zero rights, zero visibility. A lot of gig workers and even so-called knowledge workers are watching their roles get devalued, replaced, or turned invisible. How do you see this impacting the basic social fabric?
It's fracturing things, honestly. As tech platforms automate more, we're seeing old class lines blur and new ones appear like the zero class you mentioned. This isn't just a labor issue, it's an existential one. People are losing purpose and agency, not just jobs. But there's power in recognizing that and pushing for collective solutions.
That actually reminds me, while technology is reshaping these dynamics, you've argued that we can't just reject or blindly embrace it. So where does that leave us, practically speaking?
It means we have to stay curious and skeptical. Check sources, question who benefits from each new platform or app, and don't let algorithms decide where your attention goes. Even small steps like supporting open-source alternatives or joining tech cooperatives can make a difference.
And there's something hopeful about that, isn't there? It's not about unplugging completely, but about staying alert, working together, and refusing to let ourselves be reduced to just data points.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, every algorithm is built by humans. When we act collectively, whether it's by building alternatives or demanding transparency, we can steer things in a direction that actually serves people, not just profits.
That's a good note to end on. Our agency matters, even in a world run by code and composite capital. Thanks for sharing your insights and for keeping the tech conversation real.